federal government of Nigeria want to finally choke Nigerians, ordinary transfer of online banks, which used to be free and affordable, now has a charge of 15 naira on it. What plan does the government have in mind, and what is Bola Ahmed Tinubu driving out? Hello listeners, on today's episode of News Analysis, information reaching us says that the federal government have ordered that all Nigerian banks, money points, OPay and others should start deducting 50 naira from Nigerians. The federal government, led by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has directed all Nigerian banks, money points, OPay and other financial institutions to start deducting 50 naira charge from Nigerians starting today, December 1st. Now, the federal government, led by the president, has ordered all fintech companies including OPay, Moneypoint, Paga and others to start notifying their customers of plans to begin deduction of 50 naira. The electronic money transfer levy will be paid by every user of both online and online bank. According to the fintech companies, this deduction is in accordance with the Federal Inland Revenue Service Directive. This mandatory deduction brings to an end the era of free banking services that some of the fintech companies provide, even though these charges go directly to the federal government. The fintech companies have come out to tell Nigerians to please be informed that in accordance with the Federal Government Stamp Duty Act, they will be charged an electronic money transfer levy (EMTL) of 50 naira by the Federal Inland Revenue Services (FIRS) on any electronic inflow of 10,000 naira and above. On its part, OPay clarified to its customers that the deduction is from EMTL as directed by the federal government. They also added that Nigerians should please be informed that starting September 9th, 2024, a one-time fee of 50 naira will be applied to electronic transfers of 10,000 naira and above. Any money paid into the personal or business accounts above 10,000 naira will be charged. OPay clearly stated that this money is not actually coming to them, but going directly to the federal government. They said it is important to note that OPay does not benefit from this charge in any way, as it is directed entirely to the federal government. The company did this to clear its name from any guilt or accusation Nigeria would want to throw at them. Now, what exactly is the electronic money transfer levy? The EMTL, which until now applied to only commercial banks, has now been extended to all fintech, including PalmPay, Paga, Moneypoint, and OPay. This extension may not be unconnected with moves by the federal government to shore up its revenue through the expansion of taxes and levies. The electronic money transfer levy, EMTL, is a one-time charge of 50 naira on electronic money transfers or receipts in Nigeria. It applies to all electronic transfers of funds in a Nigerian licensed bank or financial institution, with the following exceptions, however: that money being paid into one's account will not be charged. The EMTL was introduced in the Finance Act 2020, and this was to encourage the growth of electronic fund transfers in Nigeria. Revenue for the EMTL is shared among the three tiers of government. The revenue is derived from the EMTL and is shared among the three tiers of government based on derivation, with the federal government receiving 15%, state government receiving 50%, and local government getting 35%. The EMTL was also introduced into the financial body in the year 2020. This revenue that was derived was so as to help the government actualize its goals and budgets. In December last year, the FIRS also directed deposit banks to deduct and remit the EMTL on foreign currency. Now, this charge was based only on foreign currency transactions going forward. Before that time, this 15 naira charge on transactions from above 10,000 naira was only applicable to local currency transactions. The question in the minds of Nigerians now is, what does the president have in mind for approving such a law? Many people have come out to react. Trust Nigerians now, we know they carry last. One netizen has said, nobody lasts forever, Tinubu and co. At the end is vanity. All of them will still last, forever remain and appear before God. Another netizen said, the federal government should be careful not to involve in a similar mistake she made by removing the oil subsidy when he newly entered power. The EMTL electronic charge is not a representation of various taxes. Nigerians are going to pay last, public and civil servants, contractors, artisans and other related businessmen and women. It is a double and multiple tax deduction. Please, Oga Tinubu, consider us. This netizen also added that we Northerners reject the tax reform. You thought it would only affect the North alone, abi? Wait and see. They haven't passed the new tax regime law yet. We have to leave sentiment and reject any anti-masses policies from Tinubu because they are just dancing to the drum Tinubu is beating. Even Tinubu himself is dancing to the drum that IMF and the World Bank are beating, because these people are hijacking the money of the crude oil sale and have left the government with internally generated revenue to run the economy and other related affairs. The truth of the matter is that these directives the government are giving are not always into their pockets. They remit to IMF, International Monetary Fund, and then remit to the World Bank also. But last, this is a bit out of band. There are a lot of times when netizens and many Nigerians would be stranded, and the fact that OPay and other fintech apps do not charge, it's made easy for Nigerians to be able to make transfer quickly and easily. So the big question in the mind of Nigerians is, what does President Bola Ahmed Tinubu have in mind? Someone said, "Now what for this man? Oh? Make a habit of two things, to help or at least to do no harm at all." Hypocrites. This man called Tinubu should leave Nigeria alone since he didn't have anything for us. Another netizen, where the verse where we talk say, "I have said this before, let me say it again. It is not all Yorubas that support Tinubu. All Yorubas are not tribal bigots. Where I voted in Ogun State, the first person that voted was a Yoruba man, about 70 years of age, and he voted for Peter Obi. How did I know? When the elderly man wanted to cast his vote, the paper fell off, and we saw the person he voted for." Another netizen have said that what does Tinubu have in mind? Why we go just dey follow this man blindly like this? If indeed he has no tangible reason for making Nigerians pay this deduction tax, then he should bring down that edict and let Nigerians use these fintech apps without any restriction or deduction. You want current happenings and more updates on this particular issue? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment behind.